Alrighty, hello. Welcome back to my studio and my 99 pieces artwork for Access Gallery here in Denver. I actually was planning on working on the gold leaf today, but realized I don't have an oil-based glue for it, size. It's called size. All I have is water-based, and you cannot put water-based things over oil paint. It is a bad thing. It will lift off. So I've ordered some, but of course it's combustible, so it's going to take a couple days to get here. I had wanted to do the gilding little bits just to add it before I finished up the final touches on the background and the green. But given that this needs to dry for a few days anyways, we're going to do it in this order. So what I want to do today is, and looking at this the last few days, I'm very happy with it. I love the rich green. All those coats I think have paid off, and I love the tension between the orange and the red and the pinks and the greens. So, but I really like this shadowy bit back over here, and just want to bring that into a few other background areas to give it a little more depth. So we're going to start with that. And then I also need to go in and do some final highlights on the green. And these are really, we're getting down to the end here, final brush strokes. So I need to be very, very careful not to screw anything up, which is a possibility. It happens. But I want the pink back here, the red, to have a little bit of depth that it just currently doesn't have. So I'm using the purple that I've been using, the darker purple, the ultramarine violet, and we'll just darken, kind of make like a seam back here or something. That background. And again, this purple has a little bit of a bluish tint to it, which is a nice contrast with the oranges and yellows in the background. Okay. So the lesson with the gold leaf is, if you have a project with a deadline, make sure you have all your materials well before you need them. I don't know why I assumed that my size was oil-based, since in the past I've always used it with acrylic paint, so bit of a surprise and disappointment this morning. But fortunately I have time. This oil paint will dry soon, and then the gold leaf will just be, I'm going to do just a little bit of it, so it's not like it's a huge amount. Add a little bit of sparkle is all, and it won't take long. I really like the richness of dark darks in my paintings. I kind of think of like Rembrandt, how he has those deep dark areas, the drama. I like the richness. I love rich, vibrant colors, but I also like contrast between light and dark and adding that drama. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of blending just to soften this. So what I'm trying to do is make this kind of dark seam in the background in the red by expanding some of the shadows now. And again, I'm using the ultramarine violet purple color, which I've used repeatedly. I've found as far as using a lot of color and bright color and contrasting colors, I have been accused of using too much color before, trying to get too much going. And to a certain extent, I think that's true in some paintings. They don't work out as well. I think if you're going to do something with a lot of intensity, it's good to kind of limit your palette. To me, limiting means maybe 10 colors. And again, if you're just starting out, just start with the basics and blend them and see what happens and learn. But I have, I think when I counted, I want to say over 50 paint tubes of paint in different colors that I can draw on to get the effects that I want. But that's a pretty big investment. Oil paint does last a long time, but it still costs money. Woo! Random weird brush stroke. Okay, and a little bit more blending to soften it in the background. Also helps it dry faster. Because I'm using a glaze to thin it out, it has this really rich, beautiful, glowing quality back here with the red and the orange. As I've mentioned previously, I usually use contrasting colors for shading. I almost never ever use black. And I like to build up the deep shadows with lots of layers. But again, everyone's different. Every painter's different. People are going to have different techniques. And you should feel free to try different techniques. It's a good way to learn. All right. I feel pretty good about that. A little darker back here. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so we got our shadows touched up where I wanted and expanded again. And I got kind of this dark swirly type of thing going on there, which I like. So it kind of repeats, again, the swirls, the motif. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please like. That would be awesome. And again, thanks for watching.